Asanda Beda are here to help you rise and shine. Weekdays, 6 till 9 a.m. Central African Time. Only on Channel Africa.
So after our roundup, that's general information, we zoom into a section on our continent, and today we're looking at West Africa, taking a look at some stories making headlines there, and of course getting more in-depth in terms of those chats with an analyst to get into these stories. So today we speak to political scientist and conflict resolution expert, Dr. David Matsanga. Dr. David, how are you on this Wednesday, Dr. Matsanga?
Good morning, Africa. Good morning, all of you in the studio. Good morning, Peter, and the rest of Africa. I am happy, and I'm happy to God that He has kept me alive to be here in your studio.
Thank you so much, and we're blessed to always catch up with these chats on West Africa. Let's start with Nigeria today. The Nigerian flood that has killed 200 people now. Yesterday we spoke to our correspondent there. The figures were still at 151, but we knew that the search was continuing for those who were missing. The town of Mokwa was hit with the worst flash flood from overnight rains. We learned also from yesterday's conversation that this is a common occurrence in Nigeria around this time of year.
It has been a common occurrence across Nigeria. As you know very well that there is no care for climate restoration of ecosystems in Nigeria. But what puzzles me and what will puzzle any African is a huge country with huge resources, 250 million people. They don't have a prepared disaster preparedness. There is no program, no coordination whatsoever that was actually put that we have in Nigeria. You have seen everybody is doing something which is different from the other. There is no coordination to rescue people, to know how many villages, where the villages were. The river, the floods have swept almost everything. People, you even see government officials confused. So this comes back to, is Africa ever ready for anything? Have we ever been proactive? Or we are reactive? Africa seems to be reactive to everything. Nigeria knows that every year, this month, between now and the certain months of October, this same place has the same problems. The rain, because of the destruction of the eco-green, the trees, cutting down the trees for charcoal, exporting this charcoal to Saudi Arabia and other areas, they have destroyed the environment. And therefore the rain will come and the rivers will be over flooded. But Nigeria, as you know, is always seeking everything, seeking pollution, seeking floods, seeking corruption, seeking administration, collapse of governance.
So on that point, Dr. Matsanga, of being more proactive than reactive, how should the federal government respond? Should they have questions of, but why were you not respondent when the meteorological agencies gave you warnings? Because those were issued a few days before these floods, but still no contingency plans were in place. As you say, poor infrastructure issues were not addressed.
That is what I see. I say proactive, a government being proactive. The federal government was warned. The meteorological department knows it is not 1 year. It is not today, yesterday. Every year these rains come and so many people die. In fact, you are putting a number to a very small number. Over 700 people are missing. We don't know where they are. It's coming to 1,000 people. This is a calamity that should not have happened. They should have warned these people to leave this area much earlier. But the government in Abuja is concentrated on only making money out of oil. They don't care about the people. They care about money. No institutions are available for anyone to know when the rain will be bad, when the floods will come. It is a terrible state in Nigeria.
And it is a terrible state. And unfortunately, because so many are missing, we can expect those fatality numbers to go up whether we want to admit that or not. But the homes that are in Mokwa as well are built in places that are not conducive for dealing with bad weather conditions, especially flash floods. What does this speak to in terms of a housing problem that there could be in Nigeria that hasn't been addressed yet?
Across Africa, the housing problem is the same everywhere. The housing problem, especially in Nigeria, everybody builds the way he wants. There are no regulations in Africa anyway. You cannot even regulate if you come to take people. Also, there is a problem of mindset, which we should actually try to educate our people. Even if you tell the people that there will be an earthquake here coming, the man will put his good house there where the earthquake will be passing, or where the split between one party to other will be. And then he says, the government has left me in trouble. When you knew that this is a mudslide area, when you knew that this place can create anything, floods will come. People were building in these areas. These floods are not the floods of today. These floods have been there for millions and millions of years. Before the creation, the rivers always come in that particular month. So also our people, the citizens, must also agree that the government cannot help us at any time only. The government helps you all the time, but you must help yourself more than the government does to you.
And the Nigerian people who are affected by the floods are seeking government aid in terms of dealing with the after effects. Government had said that they had distributed aid, but this was met with criticism from the people on the ground. Most families saying they have not received anything.
Corruption. Aid is again being sold to the same people who have no money to buy. Aid is stolen. Aid is taken. You remember these are areas where the rule of law has collapsed. You know, part of Nigeria, you see Nigeria on the map. My sister, if you ever travel to Nigeria, you have to be careful. In some areas, you are told not to step. So even this cell, the rule of law completely has collapsed. The confidence in government institutions has collapsed. People do the things like we are in the worldwide west of America, where anybody, you have a gun, you have the will. That is what it is in Nigeria at the moment. People kill each other, herdsmen come and take others, human rights abuses are not worth. So who can sell you the food? Who can give you even the food that you want? It is chaotic. It is similar to what is in Gaza today.
Does the government of Nigeria have these funds readily available for these floods and relief from the floods? We just not so far ago, we're speaking about a teachers' hike and a pay hike strike rather, and they're still making payouts in terms of that and balancing the teachers' pay hike strike. Are there funds available? And if there aren't, where can Nigeria look to secure these relief funds?
Nigeria is like any other country. It has a lot of money, but corrupt money, values. Corruption has killed Nigeria. It has money. Money is available to pay these teachers. But every step you move in Nigeria, you must pay in order to move. Even when you want to move a container from the port, which is your car, you have to pay. The customs says this is 2 million, but I want 2.5 million. 500 is mine before you take your car. Even when you are in the right, corruption has killed that several states in Africa, but worse in Nigeria. So this money is available, but the government misuses it on other things. There are too many protocols, too many bureaucracies in Nigeria that for an ordinary man to receive a service, it is like going through hell, then come back to us and say, I suffered. So these priorities in Nigeria are upside down. To be very honest, it's the state in Africa that needs help. It is a state in Africa that we talk about it, because it is one of the biggest states with a big population, but they have not led us properly. That's why most of Africa has fallen out because we see Nigeria falling. Everywhere you go, Nigeria starts to be smelling. It smells in terms of manners, in behavior, corruption, fraud, it did so many things.
Let's move to one of your favorite countries, Dr. Matsanga, Burkina Faso. They have awarded a mining company, Perenti, a huge gold mine contract there. Perenti being a subsidiary of African UMS, or Underground Mining Services, which has been providing mining services in Burkina Faso since 2018. But what else do we know about Perenti?
After very serious vetting, they have finally come to say, you have to do it on our terms. The gold mining now in Burkina Faso, this gentleman, Ibrahim, he has built one of the biggest gold smelters in Africa, bigger than that one of yours in Johannesburg. And everybody, I think everybody in Africa will start taking their gold, that place for packaging and smelting and whatever it is. So they have been vetted properly. And they have now come in to partner up with the local citizens, the locals of Burkina Faso, not these companies from outside coming to give you dictated terms. No, I was there and I saw when this company was bargaining and saying, please allow us to partner with you. You can take the biggest percentage. We shall take some. That is one of the problems that is killing the Americans and the French, because they are not going to pick this money anymore. They are not going to be monopoly. There's no monopoly of the foreign powers coming to say, in my own country, Burkina Faso, you are the owner of a mine and you are even telling me how to work.
So this contract with Perenti is valued at over $707 million US. How long is the contract, and what will form part of the duties of Perenti in Burkina Faso?
It is to facilitate the sale of the gold. One, to facilitate the bringing of equipment. Two, to make sure that the reserves are brought back to build roads. I looked at the contract briefly and I saw the terms are very good, to give to the neighboring places, to the places where the gold mines are, infrastructure, schools, medical facilities, roads, even up to the airports. There is quite a lot that this younger man of mine, a friend of mine, is doing. They have not constructed like those days where gold miners come and take your things in South Africa. They take the gold, but they don't care about the workers.
And how long is the contract, Dr. Matsanga?
The contract looks like, I did not look at the clause, but I think they gave them 10 years.
All right.
10 years renewable. Okay. I did not look at it, that clause, yes.
Let's move to Guinea now. There have been calls have been mounting from media, especially journalists, about a missing journalist, Habib Mourane Kamara, and the media has been putting pressure now on the government of Guinea to find answers in terms of where this missing journalist is. Kamara was arrested in early December by uniformed men, it's reported. Has it been confirmed if these uniformed men were law enforcement officers or not?
Of course, uniformed in Guinea is a military. Every uniformed man is a military. So there is no way of saying you need confirmation. He was picked by the military. But let me go back to the habit of picking journalists, which is taking place across Africa, which we must condemn. Most of the journalists are here to spread the message. Some of us are investigative journalists of long standing, credentials. We have been investigating serious cases. We have not been abducted. We have not been beaten up. We have not been done sad. Luckily enough, I and Andoro, your friend there, we have been harassed a bit. But there is a trend coming out in West Africa and in Africa in general, where people are killing journalists, abducting journalists. It's not very good at all. And this in West Africa, this regime of Guinea is the worst regime, that it doesn't know where it belongs to. This guy took over Conde but he became a French puppet, where he's not even rhyming with his own brothers of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. He has not shown the true colors. The two regimes of military that I see that were favored by the French, whom we don't talk much about, is that one and Gabon. This one is now showing the true colors of what a military situation is. They don't want criticism. The journalist was simply reporting stories that the military is doing the same things that Conde was doing. So if you become critical in a place like that, as a journalist, we must also warn the young journalists.
We're running out of time completely, Dr. Matsanga. And just lastly, and very briefly, we've got about 40 seconds on this one, but I want to know your views on Microsoft founder Bill Gates saying that he'll be spending most of his fortune to Africa, improving health and education in the coming 20 years.
We must first of all structure these agreements. We must be careful. We are coming in with commercial merchants, conflict merchants like Bill Gates, bringing us things that we don't know. And you say you are spending $200 billion on Africans. What is inside this $200 billion? We don't want to wake up tomorrow. These are the same men who told us that we shall die in millions. And today they are coming up. This same man wanted to buy World.
So even with U.S. Donald Trump's cuts of aid into the continent, you don't think this would form any relief? We need to be careful and not really go for it.
We can't come from a frying pan to fire. We must stay in the middle. What is he coming with strings attached? If Trump has withdrawn, it's 4 years. Why can't we wait? Why are we rushing for his money? His money is also attached to, you remember he wanted to buy World Health Organization. A man who wants to buy World Health Organization, he's coming to buy our African Union. And African presidents are watching, are clapping hands, are sharing platform. It is not very good at all. No, we must have a structured, well-ordained program before this money is accepted in Africa. Please.
Well, let's leave it there, Dr. Matsanga. I wanted to hear your views on that one before we let you go. But thank you so much again for joining us on this Wednesday. Have a great day.
I am really against Bill Gates, and I don't care a damn whatever he is. I am against him. I'm against his money. He's like a George Soros funding regime change in Africa. I am not.
We leave it there then with Dr. David Matsanga, who is a political scientist and conflict resolution expert, giving us an overview of an analysis in terms of headlines that have been taking place in the West African region of our continent. 6:31.